kidding. My submission is a cue from what she said. So, please, anybody don't go on me. I am making my own submission out of my own opinion. I was not at any police station with anybody. Neither have I had any conversation with King White. But based on what Yomi is saying, this is my own submission and opinion. So it is not, don't say Dawa said when he went to the police station. No, but I am deducing from the actions and sayings of Yomi Fabi. And I'm not scared to mention his name, Yomi Fabi. Now, based on 1 and 2, Yomi went to the police station today with his child, using him as a human shield. When you say human shield in a form of military expedition, is that instead of you, Kegbe, Kesasi, boya something to deflate an otter. I don't want to say it in English. An otter. You now used a human to collect the otter. That's the meaning of a human shield. He is doing it on a guise that I don't know what I'm going to meet at this place. Let me take my child so that I will hide under the emotions of a father. Please don't do this in the presence of my child. But that's by the way. I'm going to talk about Yomi and Baba MOHBAD that were present at the police station today. For the case of Yomi, for him to say he spoke to a locked suspect meant something. That he went there and he was still admitting that it was Adura. Then the police, the DCP that he was talking about, actually wanted to correct him. And the only way to correct him is by giving him an evidence. Oga, even for him to even be talking about his petition showed that the DCP was telling him that your petition is rubbish. That your petition is saying that it was so person that was speaking to you. Oga, don't worry. This is your petition. That is why he's coming with that analogy that they said it was Oluwole. It's a fake petition, is this, is that. No. To me, from my own opinion, and from his own saying, and from his own, he was going helter-skelter trying to commend the Nigerian police. This is a police force that he was rubbishing some months ago. That Moshe, they didn't take him serious, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, they did not act on the case. But now he's calling them a professional body. It means that when he went there, he was spoken to that all these things you are doing on social media, Oga, take it easy. The DCP didn't call him that, come and see the person that's impersonated. No, it's because this person mentioned your name. Come and say what you know. And you still went there to still be saying, because he said, they would have scolded him, was when he said that he told them they should also see it in so and so way. Where, okay, this guy said so, this thing, but please check this thing in so and so way too. It shows something that the DCP or the officer in charge or the police, the deputy commissioner of police was actually letting him know that your petition is rubbish. It's baseless. Because the person in custody has even admitted of impersonating the person that you thought you were talking to. And that is why they brought him from where he was locked up. They don't need to be bringing somebody out for somebody, but they were trying to let him know your petition is baseless. Give him a few days. If anything would if Adra will be called for anything. That is why he's even telling you people that for now, there's nothing he can do except when they charge this person to court. And once they charge him to court, if he now admits it there, or he's taking a plea, that is when he is going to do his own. It shows that when he went to that police station, the DCP had already told him that what the petition you wrote against Adura is nothing. This is my own opinion. I was not at the police station, but based on the words of Yomi and how he was acting, I knew this is what would have happened. Now, coming to Baba Mohbad, I want to say something tonight, that Baba Mohbad is not looking for any justice. Why am I saying this? If there was no royalty for Mohbad, do you think we would be here? I'm asking everybody this question. If there was no royalty for Mohbad, do you think this case would have been on for the last 15 months? The answer is no. Why am I saying this? This father had buried his child, cemented the grave, sealed it. In fact, he shielded that grave with stones, and he said over his dead body, would anybody go to that grave to bring the body out? There's a video evidence for that statement. Despite the pleas of the wife, of the mother, of the friends of your son, you wanted to go and bury him that same night. That is my audio still good?
Yes.
Good. If you had wanted justice, the first thing in your mind would not be the DNA of the child. If you had wanted justice, you would go to the ends of the earth to ensure that everybody collaborates with you to ensure the perpetrators of the crime are caught. Why am I saying this? You wouldn't have gotten yourself a spokesperson. Your son died. You are appointing somebody as a spokesperson. Do you want to say Baba does not know how to read and write? What's the difference between Muyiwa and Baba Mohbad? Their level of English. Please, anybody should let me know. Do you think Baba Mohbad does not know how to read and write? He went to a theological school. He said he knows how to do carpentry. He went to Berekete. I was reading from a book, from something he wrote down. And mind you, he was reading out English language, not Yoruba. So what's the difference between Baba and Muyiwa? Why are you appointing someone as a spokesperson? If you wanted justice, you're going to employ everybody. Brekete, Oriyomi, Sanshitsu, David Fadeleye would never had been sacked. Odumosu, Bankole and Smith. You would say everybody. Everybody should come out. Go and look at the first videos of Iyabo Ojo. Baba Mohbad looked like somebody who was forced to the side of the commissioner of police, the then commissioner of police, to just sit down there that they were talking about exhumation of his son. He was looking as if he was forced to be there. It was Iyabo Ojo that was speaking. Ṣé ọmọ Iyabo Ojo ló kú ni? Ta ló yẹ kó máa sọ̀rọ̀ ńbẹ̀ yẹn? They said they paid Odumosu some money, about 4.8 million. Èwo ló wà ńbẹ̀ wípé let us get a PI or let us do something to know the cause of death of Mohbad. The first one was what? DNA, 2.8 million. The second one was for African TV. The third one, I have forgotten the third one. Nothing concerns justice for Mohbad in the payment to Odumosu. Odumosu came before Sanshitu. So on what basis was Baba looking for justice? On what basis was he looking for justice? Look at Wummi, and I want us to be neutral today. Wummi ran to Falana. Let us say even it was Karimo that told that drove her there. But she went, according to Falana Chambers, to the letter they wrote, was it January 11 or so, that it was Wummi that came and they took it upon themselves to represent this family. But they noticed that this man was not seeking for justice for his son. Falana Chambers knew, they wrote it out in a press statement. They saw this forehand. Your son died that same month. You were talking about an MOU to share his royalties 70-30 with African TV. Who does that? Was he looking for justice? I'm asking you people today. This is common sense, and this is a question I want to throw to Baby Soft Life. I am asking. Baba was there today. This case has been since Friday. And the case was all about that there is a video in a phone showing that the wife of your son, your late son, pied him this way. This case had been on social media since Friday. Should Baba be going there on Tuesday? Or today is Wednesday, sorry. Wednesday. We have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and today is Wednesday. 6 days. Because you have to start from Friday itself. 6 days. Now, even if Baba does not go there, shouldn't he, if he was looking for justice, had sued his son immediately, not even for impersonation, for criminal charges that he has something on his phone, withholding evidence, an accomplice to a crime? If he was sure to look for justice, why couldn't he sue Adura since Friday? This is my question to Baby Soft Life.
Okay, so I'll respond, and before I get to the Baba section, I think, it's still part of it, let me address this. I think a lot of the misconception is because a lot of people are not aware of how this whole thing started. And I think so people are cutting and joining and they don't know where this all started from. So it started this way. I mean, was it 2 weeks ago or thereabout, somebody came on this platform and dropped like a bulb, that symbol for Imole. They dropped just the bulb and it had Adura on it. Now it caught people's attention in the comment section because they said, Adura has not been known to be like on TikTok. Could this be him? Could it not be him? And that kept on going in the comment section for a long time. And people were like, wow, is Adura here? Is Adura not here? Is Adura, it kept on like that. Then another lady, I think her name is Topper or something. She then came into the comment section. I'm not sure if it's the same day or a day or two later, but whatever it was. That person then asked in the comment section, what is Adura's TikTok account? So I think somebody was asking him, what do you mean? Why are you asking for it? And then the person said, I think Yomi was doing something or was live and Adura commented there. So at that point, people were like, what? And then they asked her for clarity. So at this point, they brought the lady up to the panel because I think she wanted to come up, whatever it was. And as soon as she was coming up, I remember President was saying, friendship, Wummi, fans, and everybody went for President to say, what's happening, and everybody was for, giving it to president that day. Poor president. Everybody, she had it from everybody. So this lady then came up and said she's so sorry, that wasn't what she meant. She then explained that, maybe that same thing of she went to a platform, somebody was live, and Adura commented, and she just wanted to know his handle. So at that point, we said, no, we're not sure. Whatever, there was a response. And at that point, Sister Temi said, that's a bit unlike him. I'll look into that. Can you tell me more information? And because of the way we even went for the lady that day, when she came up, some of us then gave her just gifts because we really went for her. She now said, no, she just noticed that she had never seen Adura around. And this time, she's seen him. I think it was Yomi's life. I can't remember whose life, but she saw him, but he also dropped something in just a light bulb here. So Sister Temi then took it up. And we never even bothered about it anymore. Now, later on, what happened was, I think when Adura was consulted, Adura then sort of disclaimed. Now, the thing is, and I might be wrong, it sounds to me more like Adura already put something online to say, look, if anybody is speaking to you from my account, blah, 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 it's not me. So, Bobo disclaimer, Adura, it's not new. The disclaimer was done way before Yomi's thing. Now, at some point, Karima was speaking on the live, and she just sort of mentioned and said, look, she's always told Mama Mo to have Adura with her, but Adura is living elsewhere. Now, I remember in the comment section, it felt like such a random comment because it was almost like warning Mama Mo, that kind of thing. Then days later, the whole thing just erupted. And then there was Karima on Arifa and all of that, and she talked about it, and Aries then echoed and said she shares the same intel as Karima. And they were on the same platform. And before then, remember, Yomi had gone to Papariano, and Aries had offered her legal person to him. So at that point, then the whole thing then started simmering, at which point, I think Adura reported it, and then it was realized it's Damola. Then he's also confessed and all of that with the police there. And when King came, and for me, the biggest thing is people need to always join and connect stories, because it might be 3-4 days before something else comes up. But the very first time, King, when he was coming back, said, and initially Damola denied it was him, but there was something they rang. They used Damola's phone to call a certain number, and that number happened to be Yomi's number. And King said, and please comment section, correct me if I'm goofing, because I'm not in the know, but what King said at that time was, when it rang, this boy put his hand on his head and pretty much gave it up that, yes, I've been caught. It was me. So they called Yomi Fabiyi on his phone. Now the question is, if indeed Yomi was chatting to him on TikTok, how come they were able to call Yomi's phone number? That's the first thing. Because that's the impression I had. Like, you chat to me all the time, Dawa, but you don't have. I mean, when I say all the time, you know what I'm saying, but you don't have my actual phone number. But they were able to call Yomi. And before then, what's her name? Karima around that time was saying, look, it's not the person you think you're chatting to. And both of them were working together, and then they fell out. Now, what you remember is Yomi came back from where he claimed to have gone to drop the petition. And there was this big ooh-ha all over the place. And Karima and her people were saying sometimes Yomi might say something he shouldn't say. And there was that panic and all of that with Karima. And they were saying he talks too much and all of that. Now, let's pack that to one side. So that's how this whole story evolved. Now, whether or not Yomi submitted a petition, I honestly don't know. The fact that something has a stamp on it does not mean it can't be fake. However, because there's AI, there's all of that, he says he gave a petition in. But the issue was where he was meant to go, given the money was not where he went to. He went elsewhere, but that's by the side. In all of this time, Adura, by this time, had then petitioned or whatever that led to Yomi's invite today. So Yomi's invite was from Adura's and King's whatever with the station. So that's why they went there today. So Yomi is now saying that his own petition, which is submitted way before Adura's, has not been treated. Which, if you're saying the police are as fantastic as they are, why they haven't treated yours, but felt the need to treat Adura's own ahead of your own? For me, that leaves me with many questions. Now, we pack that aside. Now, when you talk about is Baba looking for justice, to be honest with you, My person, I would say from all what I see, I don't see it. But because I don't have context, and it's the same with this, and that's why a lot of the time I don't lose my energy, because if I don't have full context, it's difficult, because I'm not saying Adura is in a good place. I don't know, because I don't have context again. But because he will be well informed and King White will be well informed, they're probably going to sleep better than people who are not well informed and are agitated and thinking, is it going to plan? Because I want to believe these people, as in when I say people, I'm talking about Wummi, I'm talking about Adura, they're surrounded by people with wisdom. And from the little I've seen from Temi, I know that when they do things, they get it right. So I think whatever evil it had to be has been averted. And however, that said, if people cast their minds back, I'm just trying to do this to dispel a lot of they say, and cut and join. If people cast their minds back, when Adura took Damola to wherever and they were dealing with his phone and the phone number and the calling, it was also observed that there were lots of text exchanges which Karima corroborated and said she was the one telling Yomi what to text back to Adura. So if people think Karima doesn't know, I'm surprised. Because if she was telling Yomi what to text back, and when she had that heated conversation with Yomi to start off with, he never said, you never told me what to text back. So sometimes I think people just don't listen. Because she had a point in saying, I was telling you what, so Karima is in the know. However, that said, there were also some deleted texts that King said they noticed from Yomi. So Yomi knows a lot more than what is making it out to be. Except he's trying to say there are no deleted texts, but there were deleted texts that were recovered. And if I remember correctly, there was also I'm not sure if there was an exchange of money, but there was a name that came up. And please correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. A girl was thrown into the mix of all of this. And I think the name starts with R. I'm not going to call the full name because I don't want to get it wrong and then spread further rumor. But there was a girl name which came up and they said that person was the name maybe that perhaps they were using to collect money. So there was quite a bit in there, is what I'm saying. Now, let me go back to, is Baba looking for justice? Now, let's look at it this way. We have quite a number of people on Baba's side. And there was something, I don't know all these people by name, but there was something that was streamed here. A platform said, they said Yomi was looking for CCTV, but he met a video on the way. The way the person said it, and please comment section, please, I need you to just say, no, you're talking gibberish. Because sometimes I don't like to say the wrong things. But that person said, the way they said it was very condescending, as if, you told us you're bringing CCTV. You told us you already saw the CCTV. You told us you saw what was in the CCTV. Now, are you saying to us you don't know what it is? Because it doesn't make sense. Because I just struggle with how people cannot join things together. Because if Yomi, before he went off to UK or wherever, said he had a CCTV, he had seen what was in the CCTV. Sure, he said there was ambulance outside or something like that. He said, things like that. And I'm thinking, hang on, do these people even think at all? Someone comes out to tell you all of that. And all of a sudden, you've forgotten all of that. And he's now telling you he doesn't have access to the CCTV. The same CCTV, he said he gave to the police. And then he said, I didn't trust the police with it. And all of a sudden, you're going to get justice from this same police. So that's what I mean by it's not making sense. But again, what I'm saying is, for this incident, was there even a reason for Baba to be there? Because Baba's representation, if I'm right, already said some days back, they don't believe in that 3-second video. They don't think it's anything useful. Him going there and saying, I would demand, because yesterday said, I would demand, I want to see the rest of that video. He hasn't come back today to say that. Did he actually ask to see the rest of the 3-second video? Then he's also saying he's a victim of, fraud or something like that. How can you be a victim of fraud when there was no exchange of money? You thought they were still going to collect the 3 million because Karima was still going to ask for donations for the 3 million. So she didn't have the 3 million. So if you don't have money and you haven't exchanged money, how are you a victim? And that's why I said it's a play on words. because it throws the right words there, and these people already they're thinking, wow, what a genius on Full Lion. So I personally didn't even, my opinion, I'm not even, I mean, with every other thing I've seen, it's not the norm. In fact, this whole thing, this whole TikTok thing for me is like I'm in a fantasy world. I've never in my entire life met humans like this that are 99.9% BS. And I'm thinking is wow, I thought people went to school to be educated, even though it's even you'd still get educated outside of school, because it's not about being in the four walls. But I don't get it. But I wasn't expecting that Baba's presence was needed today. If at all I expected him to go there, it was to give his son a bit of a backing to go, hey boy, I know I'm not in Kiniko concurrent with you, but on this one, I've got you, sort of thing. Because I don't know what his conversation was with Yomi. Yomi said Baba was waiting for him in the car or something like that. But why they had the conversation, why they needed the conversation after saying that they weren't going to work with Yomi without his lawyer is beyond me. But
sorry, baby, stop life. Baby, stop life. Sorry to interject to my sister.
Yeah.
One out of their whatever it is they might have discussed is what Yomi also said about not burying Mo. I don't think he has ever made mention of that. But he said it this night. Justice. Can you imagine? So definitely, Joseph, what is so Ronnie? Please go ahead now.
I see where you're coming from. You see, those are yes, those are the things that, you see, me saying I don't know what their conversation is, trust me when I say I have a lot going on in my head. Well, because I know how the social media space works, I won't want to voice that thing. You should understand, because it just might, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying I get you. But the thing is, I personally feel Yomi has a lot to answer for. Now, King White today said almost so much. But one thing he said, which he burst out laughing, I don't think he meant to let it out, but he just suddenly burst out laughing. You know, this uncontrollable laughter when you recall something. And he just sort of said, man, in my entire life. So I knew that there was a situation in the station. You know, that kind of thing. So you see, I just pick the things I feel can help me join the thing. But sometimes I think we're all different in the way we express. And maybe perhaps because nature of what I do. I know court processes take ages. I know, in fact, sometimes you could be lost in it. It's painful going through the process. Well, it's only a matter of patience, painful patience, but at the end of the day, it works. So if he's saying the police, and that's why I think if he's saying the police are working and they're doing a good job, if they feel they need to detain him for inflammatory comments, defamatory, whatever, if they feel they need to detain him, people should not come out and say, no, because the same system is working. So you can't pick and choose when a system works for you. So what King said was he wanted to hear what Yomi had to say this evening, but he had a certain expectation of Yomi based on what was discussed at the station, that Yomi would come out and do the needful and write all the inflammatory statements, but it looks like that hasn't happened. Okay, so my softy is over. I hope I helped out with your question. But I just thought,
Let me just round off with something. I just want to ask everybody, people that are not Team Wummi. Your guy went to the police station today. He came out commending the Nigerian police force. Now, the evidence found on the phone, because you people have been ranting on social media. Evidence. The police station, the police force that Yomi is commending, do you think they will not have checked the entire video? Do you think it's the 2 seconds that they will be checking? They have a bigger case being reported at the police station, which is the death of MOHBAD. Investigation over the death of MOHBAD. That is what they are investigating. Now, somebody said he sent 2 seconds video. Do you think they are not going to now say, let us even check the video that this guy is sending up and down?
I think what is wrong is the fact that he made it out like one cell
exactly.
and said, here, this is the guilt. He made that, and I think they need to cut that. I mean, not cut it. Now, take that to the station. Because that's an allegation.
So now we need to even commend the Nigerian police force, just as Yomi is doing. That yes, if this is the greatest evidence you guys have, that an evidence is in the phone of Adura, and this phone is at the police station, and they have investigated it, and somebody has been held for impersonation. That shows that there is no evidence anywhere. There is no evidence anywhere that can incriminate Wummi. If that was your strongest evidence, Yomi Fabiyi, that there are videos in a phone, and this phone is in Panti, and this phone could only hold somebody for impersonation and could not answer any question of providing further evidence over the death of MOHBAD, that means you are a failure. It shows you are a failure. And the only reason why you are saving your face is because you cannot go ahead to produce your major evidence, which is the CCTV footage. That is why you are.
And if someone was chatting him up on TikTok and they hadn't really gotten into the nitty-gritty of it, how come they're able to call your number from that person's phone? So he has a lot of explaining to do as well.
Exactly. I'm just hoping that Adura will take the bull by the horn and sue him for defamation of character. And I think that is what he's strongly afraid of. If they say he's shaking, that shows that the DCP would have told him that, guy, all these things you are doing on social media, Omo, it can send you to prison. If
they needed to keep him, they would keep him. Trust me.
I know they will keep him.
Social services, they would look after the child.
Ask him to call
There's nothing like social services.
The mother of the child to come and...
No, but services, seriously, not like abroad, but there is. They would tell the wife to come and get the child. They would keep him. They wouldn't let him go.
What I just know is just this. The only reason why he's coming out is to save himself the pain and keep at least a little followers, because he knows that all his arsenals are done. The best evidence you've been shouting for the past 1 week is the phone of Adura. That there's
the reason
evidence
I think
inside.
He got out
apart
today,
from the 2 seconds, he doesn't want people to start talking about the CCTV. That's number one. Number two, that he has lost his allies. Who are these people? God's protection that was going to help him abuse people. A Karimo who is so mad on social media that will go against anybody or abuse anybody. A music pivot that has now known his secrets that yes, this is what actually happened. And a whole lot of people that are now seeing him as a Gio, a person that wants to extort people.
I think he did. I don't think Adura has petitioned yet. I think the reason he walked today was because they called him in on the basis of them being able to call his number from Damola's phone. So he went in to most likely clarify that aspect.
No, they want to know the other party. They want to know the other party Damola was calling or was texting. It is an investigation on that case, not on any other petition. No. So
Adura is yet to.
Because if Adura had done that, if Adura had done that, Adura only needs to get so many of his clips on social media calling out his name, calling him out that oh my shame, hey. So if it is
and that was
one, I know the police what did you go back the grandma was police station. Grandma fún màmá ẹ̀ lówó ọkọ níkẹ́nìkan nínú family wọn kó wá gbé grandma lọ sílé kó wá gbé ọmọ yẹn lọ sílé òun á ṣẹ̀wọ̀n yẹn ó máa detain ẹ̀. I know the police
máa fọmọ ránṣẹ́ ní Bolt wa Uber wa a fi sínú mọ́tò akọ àdírẹ́sì ní wọn lọ́wọ́.
No, sister Aduni ìyẹn ti pọ̀ jù náà á fọmọ sínú dispatch rider wọ́n máa gbé sínú.
No, Mr. Dawa, á pè yẹ ọmọ.
Ó ti yé ijù adákòtò fún bàbá òfò ló bímọ.
I don't think Adura has done anything. I don't think Adura has done. If Adura has done something, he wouldn't have gone home.
Ẹjọ́ kí lọ́jọ́ orí kó lè dé tó ń lẹ́nu activism.
No, Adura hasn't done anything, but I think they wanted to see if he would be repentant. But he hasn't gone that way today. And I think that's why they need the recording as some of the additional proof that even after he was spoken to, this is still what he went out to say. So I think without much ado, is it okay to step down for me?
So, Sister Temi.